Right, in this video I'm going to be discussing hard water and effect it has on your shower pumps. In our flat here, both the cold water and the hot water is pumped through by the use of shower pumps. It's not done by gravity fed pressure, and this leads to nothing working, including your toilet, if these break down. This one is a modern, newer Stuart Turner pump that I changed years ago. This one is the original one. It is about 12-13 years old. Now what happens is you will find that if you live in a hard water place, just such as I do, there is a build-up of the calcium carbonate or limescale, and it forms as little kind of round marbles, very hard green marbles. And I found that out when I last changed the old version of that pump over here. And there's a filter I found out somewhere in there, I can't remember, one of these pipes, and I took that out, and it was like it long came outpoured like little marbles, green marbles. So what we've been getting is, when we're switching on the hot water, because that one's hot water, when we switch on the hot water, it's been like a delay. I noticed it the last couple of weeks. It's like a delay, count 1, 2, then the pump comes on. Now yesterday it kind of gave up completely and it stopped working. When I went to feel, although there is hot water in there, when I went to feel that bit there, the motor bit, it was like sizzling hot. It was like when the motor was trying to turn, but it couldn't turn. You know, it was stuck in one place. It was, the energy was going in to turn it, and it was just stuck, generating extra heat on top of the hot water above it. So the thing is, the cheapest way to do it is the best way, of course, to change to one of these modern ones, because I think overall they're better, much better. They're quieter, and they have this, because this one here has a sudden start up for no reason. It just starts itself up for no reason sometimes. To change it for the cheapest way is to remove it and clean the filter and reinstall, and also the pipes. We know that the pipes will fit there, because I had to modify it. Look, see another one of my videos where I had to hacksaw part of that to get that to fit, and it did fit in the end. You know, I should notice that that pipe there, the vertical pipe's on the right side. The vertical pipe is also on the right side, which maybe what I should have done in the past, but I didn't really have time to check it, is to really try and measure the two. If they're exactly the same, just swap the pipes over. I don't know what reason was it. I can't remember. I had to hacksaw the top of it. Maybe it just didn't quite fit or something like that. Maybe that pipe there is slightly not as long as that one there. For those reasons anyway. I did what I did and it worked. But obviously I don't want to do that again. Go through all that business. Or maybe if I have to change the pump, I will take it off from there and try and disconnect it here and here, and then fill it on the new pump. We'll see. But anyway, first fix first is clean the filter, see if that makes a difference. So for this job, make sure you have all the tools, and I brought a whole load of tools with me, including this one. I don't know if it fit all that well. It's made for car fuel pipes, but it might assist. These sort of tools are very useful. You may need them to separate the pipes. Now, first job, switch off all your electrics to the heaters, switch off your electrics to the pumps. If there's no way of getting to it, switch off at the mains, flip the switch. Of course, you don't want to be electrocuted or anything like that. You see, this pump is connected to this. At some point I'll disconnect it from here as well. the job like this is pretty much I'm trying to clean the filter out to prevent this pump from failing in the future, because it got roasting hot the other day as the pump struggled to squeeze water through the filter, and the water level, and you switch on the tap, it's kind of low, it's coming out in a low rate, and it was something's not working, it's not triggering the mechanism to turn the motor on, but the energy was going in, so it was like roasting red hot. So the fellow can't flow, if you want to put it that way. And so this sort of job is not really a routine one. You don't want to do this every now and again. It may be worth doing if you're going to be changing the element like I did. But routinely I would say no, because things can go wrong. It might be a leak, and it would be a very hard job to stop with massive column of water. It could be a big problem. So only do this, and if you really had to. So consider doing it at all. These ones here, if I pull them apart, that should stand out more. There'll be a bigger gap there. So the way you take these off is, if I remember rightly, you have to kind of squeeze that in and push at the same time. That's why those sort of pliers will be handy when it tries to squeeze it apart and push a plastic clip in at the same time. I'll have to disconnect it here and there, so as well to be able to lift the thing up. So switch off the electrics first. So I just that one's already off as well. The pump is isolated, but be warned, you can actually get electrocuted when you disconnect it. Believe me, I'll switch it off there. You still can be electrocuted in some circumstances. I remember once when a pipe burst in an old place where we stayed at, and the electricity, the water was pouring onto the switch. The switch was off, and I thought the switch was on because the light bulb was flickering. What I didn't know was the water was conducting through the switch. So when I went to switch it on, what I thought was to switch off the light, it electrocuted me. I was wearing gloves at the time, but still, to be warned of that. So it's a good idea to really disconnect it, and also maybe there's a mains box up there. Flip the switch on if you really can, if you know which one it is. So anyway, next job, turn off the two valves connected to it. Pair of pliers, long nose, with some tape wrapped around it. I do that because I just want to reduce the stress that is on the tip up here. I don't know how strong that plastic is. So clockwise to turn off. Just reduces that pressure. I don't think that one turns all the way, and it ever has done. This one should turn all the way. There you go. It should turn all the way. The thing is, you think to yourself, will I be able to return it afterwards? So I turn it off. Okay, that's all the way. Okay, pretty much all the way. Okay, radio. So the other essential tool you need is one of these. So 4-way service utility key. It's got the square, large square, light on it. Large square end. That's the one I need, because now comes the job, the very slow job, the 2-hour job of catching the water using a vessel, large vessel. I'm using a dustbin, like a 30-50 litre dustbin. I'm popping it on top of here, and as I undo that, the water will come pouring out. So turn off the mains as well. I just forgot to do that. My mains is down there, so I'm going to reach in and turn it off. So I'm going to move the jump that way and turn it off. Alright, so I'm just going to time it using my watch to see how much it fills up to a comfortable level in the bucket. And I'm just going to set a timer, because you can walk away from this thing and it can cause you a whole load of problems without you realising it. So you give yourself a couple of hours at least. Take about 2 hours to empty this. Maybe like 15 bucketfuls, large dustbin, 15-20 buckets full. Anyway, see you in about 2 hours time. Right, it's taken about 3 hours, 3.5 hours to drain. I just leave it. We'll try for the easiest option first. Make sure you've got the cloth ready. Don't like the way that's dripping down there. Top of that valve. Anyway. So I need to push this down. This is not going to be easy. Must be a tool you can get. Easy. So I kind of gave up on doing it from here, because when I went to use a pair of pliers, and I need circlip removers, the ones that open up when you press on them, a couple, one on here and one on there, and that's how I did it last time, because they you know, they'll fit in there and squeeze, fit in there and squeeze, and they both should come out at the same time, both sides. So I'm going for a different approach. Never tried this method before. A couple of little screws down there. Taken one out already. So the screw is quite loose. It's not really even that tight. You can feel water leaking out already. You need a long screwdriver, a really nice fitting one. That's the end I'm using. Get a light on it. Quite a long one to get through. See, this one's the awkward one. I'm just checking if I've damaged the screw at all. No, the screw's perfect. I'm just going to separate them like so. I've done it. I can see inside. Couldn't swing it outwards. It would be ideal if I could swing it outwards. Oh, told you it was like a stick, plastic stick. Oh, it had to be something like that, didn't it? If I could just have swung it out, it'd have been easy. So there's a plastic stick in the way, I have to lift it really quite high. Oh, okay. Well, the plastic stick I meant is here. Right, see that? I think that is the filter. In there is nothing. There is a rubber silicone seal on there, which is the thing you do not want to damage. No, it's not even a rubber silicone seal there, I can't feel it. It just fits on there. Looking for a rubber seal. Oh yes. Alright, so the rubber seal is up here. Or I think it's up there. But here it is. I'm gonna pull on that leather cloth. I'm gonna pull on this. Can't remember if this is how the filter was. Maybe I can separate this easy now. Let's try separating that piece there. Let's try taking that piece off there. Now it's actually kind of easier. So we get like that place. I'm just holding this down and twisting. And then of course that little tab wants to come up. A bit, I will be cleaning into that tube. Okay. There's no stones in there at all. There's the filter. There's a filter sat there like that. Nothing. That's curious. That is curious. The cold water I remember years ago was absolutely jam packed full of stuff. Probably the heating element gets rid of a lot of the limescale. Just inspecting everything. I've been drawing a black line there, it's facing that way. I'm just give that a little bit of a clean down. So I was expecting in here a whole load of little rocks. Anyway, that's how you do it. Reinstalling is the reverse of removal. Of course, double check any kind of leakages. It's a risk. If you're not sure, call a plumber in. There's a rubber gasket there, a rubber or a silicone O-ring. I'm going to clean that off. Clean the one in there, usually careful in there, is usually a blade. You see if I can get you a light on that. Blade that grips the pipes. Careful about probing your finger in there. Should be like a blade. I haven't seen a blade, but we'll clean that O-ring down. There's two O-rings. Clean both of them down and fill it back together. Well, anyway, that's how you would clean a filter. So hot water may not, that's why it lasted a lot longer, many years longer. The cold water is where the where it builds up with these little green marbles. The hot water, I've never removed this before. Seems okay. Bizarre. Anyway, luckily there was that little screw bit at the bottom. I really didn't want to take those pipes up the top part in case I couldn't do it. Once I got this bottom piece off with the screws, the brass bracket off, pulled it a little bit, it came out. The bottom of that's catching, so I took that off and it wedged it over and it just came over it. It gave me just enough, nothing in there. I was expecting that to be jam packed full. Anyway, so if there is an issue in the future with this pump, this is how I'm going to remove it, by those two screws, because on the opposite side it is exactly the same thing. See it? I don't know where it's inlet outlet. The opposite side, you've got exactly the same thing. It's the easiest way to remove it. So I'll just take the whole pump off, just put the new pump on, just like this bit here, just like this bit here, and then just sort of push without removing the pipe. Just push it straight in. It's a bit shorter, I must admit. I just have to. Oh, that's why I shave the pipes, because it's taller. Anyway, that's what to do. Difficult job. Now we'll put it back together, and we'll make sure it's all leak proof. Don't forget, add 0.9 bar of pressure in there. See it, 0.9. You can't really do it when there's water, and without water you can do it. That stops it going off and on all the time. Good quality tyre pump. Look, heavy in that. I'm gonna try pushing in. You know. Anyway, try and call a plumber if you're not sure, because water leaks not really good. If the system's old as well, call a plumber in. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. Be careful when you do jobs like this. Is it worth it? Ask yourself a question. So check for leaks here. Of course, anywhere you worked on, even at the stop clock as well. Just show that bit there. I'm worried about that bit there. And of course here, cleaned it out with a bit of limescale with scouring pad from the dishwashing sponge. Don't put any chemicals in it, nothing like limescale remover, because you don't know what the effect will be on the silicone seals. It's going to dry. There's a spot of water there. I'm going to dry that. I've tightened it already. Anyway, thanks for watching. Remember, if in doubt, call a plumber.